Hello, I'm Dana Cowley, your host for Charter Local Edition Northwest. My guest today is Richland City Councilwoman Dori Luzzo Gilmour in position 7. Welcome, Dori.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Can you tell us what the big ticket items are for Richland that you're working on now?
Sure. We have a new process. We're going through a waterfront revisioning process and working on the downtown. Big projects coming up. We have a new city hall being built in the next few years. In fact, we should be getting design plans in soon. And that's a big process. And then just continue on working on our Dupertail Bridge extension. That's a huge project that will make access to the Queensgate area much easier.
And tell us what the agenda is for those. How will that be working through council, and when can the citizens kind of expect to see the benefits of these things?
Right. We're in the process of getting more grant funding for the Dupertail Bridge. It's not completely funded yet, but we're doing step-by-step processes to build the road to the bridge. So in hopes that the money's come through, right? State money. We need a lot of money to build a new bridge across the Yakima River. That's a big project. And then the waterfront visioning process, we just had a consultant come in and went over some ideas. And what we're going to do next is sit down as a council and really decide what's an important project to do first. Of course, City Hall is going to be huge. So we'll be seeing design plans coming through very soon for that. And so there'll be citizens' input, of course. Our building now, City Hall, of course, was built back in the 1940s, 50s.
Stone Age.
Stone Age. And it is a beautiful mid-century modern building, so I hope we can incorporate some of that design element into the new building. But maybe I'm the only one who loves mid-century modern anymore.
Well,
but
I do.
I love it, and I think, you know, in the character of the city, we want to try to maintain that atomic city past.
Yes.
So I would like to see some of that. So that will be coming through. We have, I guess what we had to do is buy land actually from the federal government, because we're going to be building over in the federal government former parking lot. So there was some land swaps and changes and moving things around and moving pieces, but that will be happening soon. So I believe 2017 we'll be breaking ground, and then by 2019 we'll be in the new building.
Well, you're joining the City Council at a very exciting time with lots of things going on. And for those that are just getting to know you as a new council member, tell us about your position and your passion with Christ the King.
Sure. At Christ the King, right now, I work as the co-coordinator for the Early Childhood Religious Education Program. So basically, we have 165 3-year-old through 1-year-olds that we do Sunday school programs for, right? Something about 45 volunteer teachers, and my partner, Jean Reeb, we manage that program together, because I am a stay-at-home mom for the most part. So that's just a part-time position, because my children go to Christ the King school. So it worked out beautifully. I always think God has a plan for everybody and a path, and I was looking for something to do to help pay for tuition for our kids. And this job came open, and it's a perfect opportunity to work within the parish, work with children. Obviously, I like kids. I've got a 3, a 6, and an 8-year-old. And it was a great opportunity, and it's a very, very fun job. So,
well, you have a good fit with the city as far as being a long-term Richland resident, and also raising your children in Richland. So rooted in the past with a vision for the future. And how does that help you when so many of us who live and love the Tri-Cities are transplants?
Well, and that is a really important point. Thank you for bringing that up. I grew up in Richland, and like a lot of people, couldn't wait to flee. And then, lo and behold,
teenager.
I know, right? And then I came back and lived and worked in every city. I lived in Burbank, Pasco, Kennewick, worked in Kennewick, worked in Pasco, and until I was 30 years old, and decided, you know what I really want to do? Get married and have kids. And then I moved back to Richland, 2 miles from my parents, where they still live in central Richland.
Well, that's a good job to have. Good gig to have if you can keep it.
So I moved back, and I was working in the wine industry, and I remember growing up in Richland, biking to the George Prout Pool, which we always called the big pool, going down to the Richland Public Library, all the wonderful things. And growing up, I always wanted to live by the river, so when I purchased a home when I was 30, it was by the river. So that it's a great place to live, and I just thought, this is a place to raise kids. And when I started dating my husband, he actually had he's Richland native also, living in Seattle for 15 years. And I brought him to my house, and he said to me, one of the first time he came over was, "You've got this big empty house." And I go, "This is my future children's bedrooms." And you would think most 30-something-year-old men would have just
run screaming,
screaming,
dove into the river and swam away.
Yes, but he stayed, and so we've been together 10 years now and have the 3 kids. So it's wonderful. As a Richland native, though, I remember we had these wonderful hands-on activities to do as a kid, and I wanted to bring that back for my kids because we no longer have a hands-on science museum like we used to have in central Richland. The federal building actually had a DOE-sponsored science museum that we would go for free, I'm sure, because I'm the youngest of 13 kids. We didn't have any money for me to go to a museum all the time. So we would bike down there. And so I thought, what do I want to see my kids have in the city? And I'm a person who puts their money where their mouth is. And I said, well, how are we going to make this happen? Serving on city council, I thought, would be a great way because there's not moms on city council. So.
Well, welcome to the council, and we appreciate your additions, and thank you for joining us on Charter Local Edition Northwest. Appreciate it. This is Dori Luzzo Gilmour, the Richland City Councilwoman. I'm Dana Cowley, and thanks for watching.